So, question 6. Find the coefficient of x squared. Notice we're only looking for the coefficient of x squared in this, so we can maybe limit the amount of work we have to do. In the expansion in ascending powers of x, of this, the square root of 1 plus ax over 4 minus x. Well, that doesn't even look like a binomial expansion thing yet. So we've got to think, before we do anything else, how can we rewrite that to be something that we can work with? Well, that square root sign is like having a bracket of a half around it, isn't it? That's another way of writing the square root. And if we think about that, we've got the top bit, which is 1 plus ax to the half. And that's where it's divided by 4 minus x to the half. If we're dividing by 4 minus x to the half, that's like multiplying by 4 minus x to the minus a half. So first we have to write it like that. Now, to make life slightly easy for me, so I can keep track of what's going on, I'm going to do this as two separate things. I'm going to do 1 plus ax to the half first. That's slightly easier. That is, you remember our formula, we wrote it on the board a few moments ago, so that would be 1 plus n times x, so that's a half times ax, plus n times n minus 1, divided by 2, times x squared. I'm not going to go any further because the question wanted me to find the coefficient of x squared, and so I'm never going to need the coefficient of x cubed in any of the expressions, so that I'll stop there. I will need that expression that far. Can we simplify this slightly? What we've got, a half plus a half ax. What have we got there? I think there we have a half times minus a half, that's minus a quarter, divided by 2, so that's an eighth. So minus an eighth of a squared x squared. Remember that the a is inside that with the x, and so both of them get squared. That's what people always forget. Okay, so that's that bit done. Come back to that in a moment. 4 minus x to the minus a half. Alright, well this is the bit where you need to play around with this first, because it's not in the form that we can use. We need 1 plus or minus something at the start of our bracket. So we need to get that 4 out of the way, take it out as a common factor. To get minus x, well that would need to be 4 lots of minus a quarter x. So we do that first. Are you happy? Inside this bracket here we have 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times minus a quarter of x is minus x. Now both of these two terms are raised to a power of minus a half. So 4 to the minus a half, well 4 to the half is 2, the minus sign means 1 over, so that is half of 1 minus a quarter of x to the minus a half. At which point I'm ready to do my binomial expansion stuff. This is a half of 1 plus n times x. So n is minus a half times x, which is minus a quarter of x, plus n times n minus 1. Take away 1 from minus a half and get minus 3 over 2, divided by 2 times minus a quarter x squared. I'm going to wait with that half for a moment. I've got 1 there, watch this, plus an eighth of x. Now in here we've got all sorts going on, haven't we? We've got, well the negatives will cancel out, it's going to be plus. We've got half times 3 over 2, that's 3/4. Divided by 2, that's 3/8. But then we're multiplying by a 16th, which is going to give us 256. Is that right? 3. Sorry, we have 3 on the top. Am I right with that? It would be 128. Yeah, the last bit. We've got 128 there. Right, now we've got half plus the 16th of x plus 3 over 256 x squared and so on. And this are the two things that we've got to multiply together. So we end up by saying that, what was it, square root of 1 plus ax over 4 minus x is equal to these two things. Now, it almost feels, having got this far, that I actually want to finish this off properly by writing out the full thing, but the question said just to find the coefficient of x squared in all of this. So all I care about is the coefficient of x squared. If I'm multiplying these two brackets together, how can I make x squared? I can do it by doing 1 times the x squared term over there. So that would give me 3 over 256. I can do it by doing that x term times that x term. So that's a half of a times a 16th. So that is 1 over 32 times a. And I can do it by doing this x squared term times the half that is the front of that bracket, and that would give me minus a 16th times a squared. And that's my coefficient of x squared. There's quite a lot going on. Well, we could take out a factor of 256, 1 over 256.
Would you get the mark to, like, write it all out? Like that?
Yeah. Yeah. If you've got the whole expansion, they're just going to look for the x squared term. But if it's that, or an equivalent to that, then you're going to get it. Okay.